Prime IV Delray Beach helps you feel better, look better, and perform better with IV vitamin therapy. Each of our IV drips is the equivalent of 2.5 gallons of hydration and a custom blended mix of vitamins designed to help you reach your health goals. The top complaints we address are more energy, better sleep, sports recovery, meaning less soreness when you work out, or a great boost to your immune system. Come in if you're feeling under the weather or to help stave off those nasty bugs if someone's in your house and brought them home. Use the code word SWEET, SWEET, for 20% off any IV treatment valid at the Delray Beach location only.
Hello, everybody. It's Andrea with Sweet and Spicy, and I'm here with Carolina Rush.
The spicy one.
Spicy Spice, our spicy Latina, and our special guest back again, because we love her, Nancy Reagan from Bella Reina Spa here in Delray Beach. Hi, Nancy.
Beautiful
Hi, guys.
Nancy
How are
Reagan.
you? Hi, thank you.
I know. We're talking about her hair and how she can't complain about it ever
No.
because it's beautiful. And we all want hair like that when we're, a little older, just a little.
Older. I actually went over to a friend's and she had to tell me about how it was too frizzy. And it was like one of those humid nights a couple of nights ago and it was raining. And it was like, it frizzes. And she goes, here's this oil. It's magic. And put it on.
That your hair was too frizzy?
Yeah. And
I don't think I've ever seen your hair too frizzy.
Frizzy.
And you had a birthday in June, so happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
happy birthday.
Gemini's rock.
Gemini's rock.
Mm-hmm.
So today I wanted to talk about makeup because you guys actually do makeup at Bella Reina's.
Yes.
And you do a couple, you do wedding and special event makeup, but just you have a product there that I actually need to come try out, which is you do a custom form of foundation.
Yes.
Like you can custom blend it, which is
Yes.
interesting to me. But that's not, I don't necessarily want to go into that. I want to talk more about myths, do's, and don'ts about makeup for 40 plus, because it kind of does change, right?
Yes, it does.
And the thing that for me, and I've seen it advertised because I'm clearly targeted on Instagram and Facebook of, don't get the makeup that settles in your fine lines after 40 because it's a thing. You can see it with certain makeup that will settle in the lines like under the eyes or, where we get all the lines like around the lips or crow's feet.
Well, the trick is in the preparation of the skin,
As always.
as always.
Okay, so
that's-
talk to us about it.
So it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter kind of the makeup because different makeups have different amounts of pigmentation in the makeup. And talc makeup wears differently than a mineral foundation. And a liquid will wear different than powder. So there's all these different forms, but the preparation of the skin is the most important because you have to have exfoliated skin that's not dry, that's not dehydrated. So the minute you have dry and dehydrated skin, the makeup's going to grab to the dead skin, and all you're going to see are the fine lines, the wrinkles, and the dead. You don't know that that's what you're seeing, but what you're seeing is where the makeup grabbed.
Is that because
to the dead skin.
the makeup sits in the fine lines and stuff is dead skin?
What'll happen is it'll fall into the cracks, so to speak. So it's like if you were painting on a canvas and you have a canvas and the canvas has little dimples in it, it's going to fall into the dimples. So it's the same effect. So when you're putting makeup on and you're over 40, first we need to exfoliate properly. Cleanse your skin properly, prep it properly. And once you have done that with the right hyaluronic and you have enough hydration going on, the key is in a foundation primer. That is like God's gift to every woman over 40. And it's a little painful because it's an extra step. And there's really good ones, and there's other ones that have dimethicone in it that are not good. But when you put on that primer, that foundation is made to actually, you'll do it on one side of your face and not do it on the other side, and you're like, oh, holy cow.
Wait, but you're saying primer is one thing and then the foundation is a different.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've always heard, I was going to ask you that because I've always heard about primer for the eyeshadow and never primer for the entire face.
Primer for the entire face is like putting on when you paint your house.
I would say primer for paint.
Is when you paint your house and you have to put on a primer for the walls. So it, like, especially in an old house, so you want it to like
Right.
smooth out that
Right,
area.
right.
That's
It's
hilarious.
the same exact thing. And when you put that primer on, it really helps to smooth out the skin. Then you let it dry and then apply your foundation over the top of that.
So I know obviously there's better foundations than other,
Correct.
but if you put the primer on, no matter what foundation you use, is it still going to? Okay, so you have to use a certain foundation.
Well, it helps to use, okay, so talc will sit into any fine lines and wrinkles.
Yeah.
So talc will, it just by nature of the way talc is made and how pigmented something is. So most foundations on that are made with 4% or less pigment. So you go buy whatever name brand you want to at the drugstore or department store. There's a few of the department store brands that will have a higher pigment for coverage. So it's all about how much coverage you want.
Right.
So the higher the pigment, the more coverage you have.
Okay.
So in looking at something that is a lighter foundation, you can have less coverage and it has a lower pigment. But the more pigment you have, the more it's going to sit on the skin, no matter whether it's mineral or talc, but it's going to sit on the skin. So you see that kind of like as a, like you have to decide when you're looking in the mirror, hey, do I like this look or is it too much for me?
So
Is talc powder?
Talc is it's an ingredient used in foundations. It is and just like mineral powder, talc is a formation or an ingredient that is used in liquid foundations a lot.
So
you
either.
look at if it has talc, don't get it.
Talc is, I personally do not like talc because talc causes a lot of problems with people with breakouts.
Okay.
And it is not healthy for the skin. It also absorbs into the skin and doesn't lay on the skin.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at somebody and they have mineral foundation on, the mineral lays on top of the skin. And sometimes you go, oh, it doesn't have as much coverage, but you can increase the coverage with application too. And if you use a primer, it's a whole different ballgame. And, you got to start out with great skin first. So you can like cover orange peel skin, what I call where there's a lot of pores from having acne.
Right.
You can cover all of that with a primer and then put the foundation on and then put a powder over the top of that. And you have no idea of what, is underneath.
That there's orange peel skin there.
No, you have
I don't
no
think
idea.
I've ever seen something called primer.
Really?
At the drugstore.
I got one from them and I love it.
So it is out there.
Girl, you need to
can
go
get it-
shopping at Sephora. I mean,
Yeah, there's
like-
primer's definitely a thing because I actually had gotten one at Ulta and I asked Nancy and I got the travel size because I needed it for one specific. I was having photos done, so I got it for that, and I didn't go to Bella Reina, which was my mistake because I had
It's all
gone
good.
to.
It's all good.
It's fine, I know. I'd gone to Ulta for something else that I get at Ulta that I really like. I think it was my eyebrow pencil, and so then I was like, oh, I'm going to get a primer because, in that last minute before you have photos, you're like, let me buy all the makeup and slap it on my face.
Right.
So, but then I asked Nancy about it and she's like, it's all right. Like it was an okay one. And then I got the one from Bella Reina and it is so better, much better.
It makes a huge difference on the actual ingredients.
Yeah.
Of what you're using to actually do the coverage. And now we can I like everything to be multifunctional, so I like to put it in the foundation if you can. So it makes it so it's like one-stop shopping, so you're not.
Oh, nice. So in the custom foundation, you put the primer in it, so you don't have to have the second step. Oh, I didn't know that.
But also the custom foundation is a higher pigment. So we're working with 11% pigment.
Wow.
So
when the standard's 4% or less. Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So they do that for the commercial
Oh, like
In
commercial makeup?
in order to make makeup, in order to have it cost effective, you
Mm.
have to be able to produce
Make
it
it cheaply.
yes,
That's
exactly.
not shocking. Like they
Mhm.
do everything.
Exactly. So you're trying to make it as cost effective as possible.
Yeah.
So they don't want to, the more pigment you have, the more money it costs.
Right. Got it. Makes
Mhm.
sense. I mean, if it's a quality thing, but the more pigment you have, you said it also can make you look older
Correct.
because it can sit more in the lines.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, and it's in your application too. And I cannot say enough. I mean, like if you, there's another little thing is like, okay, so if you take your hands and apply your makeup, and you take a sponge and you apply your makeup, and you take a brush and you apply your makeup, you're going to have 3 different applications of makeup.
Coverages.
Well, and applications. So one, if you look at it under a black light, it's going to be this sloppy finger motion that you'll see. In some of it, your face will be covered, some of it won't, but you'll see this, like, it's really
You
crazy.
can see it from a black light. Oh,
Yes.
I'm going to get a black light now.
And so, and then when you look at the sponge, half of what the makeup is that you just pulled out of the thing is going to be on
The sponge. You waste
and
it.
you
I
waste
know,
it.
for sure.
So the brush is the more economical, but the type of brush that you're
Matters.
applying with it matters because it needs to be one that, you know, if you're doing liquid, it has to be flatter and you're not using and stiffer. So you're not using as much in the brush because you don't want it in the brush either. And then
Right.
you're only using the sponge to do like fine areas and to refine areas
This
and
is
to
what I
smooth
mean.
it out.
I've said this before. There are so many rules
I know.
Well,
and things you have to.
it's not
I
a
mean,
rule.
there's a
but
lot.
it's
There's
just
a lot to
stuff.
consider and think of. I mean,
Right.
there's
But
just a lot to keep track of.
I agree. But here's the thing. Like, you don't have to necessarily have it for every day. It's, okay, now am I going to go get a brush? Absolutely. Because I want the
Right,
best
but
way to
it's-
apply my
But then
makeup.
it's the type of brush.
I know,
Right.
but I'm just going to go to them and they'll tell me. That's
And
what
then
makes it so easy.
But and part of it, like, I mean, part of why I'm still doing what I'm doing is because I see that women really need the proper education on everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's you haven't been around. I mean, you could probably answer more about softball than you can about it, which we know nothing about.
Right.
But you know everything there is about softball and batting cages and everything like that.
14-year-old girls.
I guess that-
I mean, and I know nothing, but it's stuff that when you want to go out and you want to look pretty and you want to look your best and because whether we like it or not, as we age, I mean, we hit 50 and we start going out of that job market because we don't look, if you look 50, sorry, and you look 60, you're going to start aging yourself out of a job.
Right.
And so
Especially as women.
especially as women.
Yeah.
I mean, it's much easier as a man to be
It
in
is.
that job market.
They don't have to
So
paint their face every morning.
exactly, or and it's really whether we like it or not, it's part of what's happening or is happening in the market. So
Yeah.
making it so that it's easy for you to go, okay, what's my 1-2 step that makes me look the best I can? That's my goal, and saying, okay, what's the easiest you can
Yeah.
for makeup? But a brush is better than your hands.
And definitely no sponges.
Well, if you're going to use the sponge, you're only using it for a light touch. You're not using it on the bottle and then
Yeah.
getting it on the sponge because you're wasting
Costing yourself a lot of money.
exactly all of the makeup. And some of the makeups out there, like the department store makeups, they're crazy
Yeah.
expensive and they're not worth the
The money.
money
Yeah.
at all.
Interesting.
It's they don't do any better. I mean,
How do you know, like, if somebody, isn't here to come get your custom blend foundation, how do they know what the pigment percentage is? Can they look it up online?
you can probably tell by how the brand says for coverage. So if they say light coverage, that
It's
the
less.
pigment's less. If they say full coverage, they should have 4% in the bottle
Minimum.
But for full coverage, because that's what it should be
Yeah.
at least. but a lot of them
So if they say medium to full, it's probably not 4%.
no.
Really interesting. So interesting.
Because they make more money the more bottles you buy.
Right. Yeah, really.
The faster you go through that foundation, it's a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
So
So what are the other makeup mistakes that people tend to make that make them look older?
oof, a lot of black on eyeballs.
Oh, like black, like heavy black eyeliner.
Heavy black eyeliner, heavy black mascara. It depends on the type of lid that you have, whether or not your lid is deep set or whether you have a closed lid. It's kind of weird because it's like then you don't really see if you have like whether or not you see it or you don't see it. And whether or not you're blessed with dark eyelashes or already, or whether you already have, you're blonde and you need to wear that mascara. But some people look much older than they really are because they like to have the eyeliner on. They like to have the lashes on. They like to have that whole, look going. And instead of making them look younger, it actually ages them because it's such a harsh. And I try to tell it doesn't matter. We're all blessed with gorgeous faces. And when you look in the mirror, I want you to say, I like to say, okay, so God gave us like one good feature when we look in the mirror. What's your best one? Because everybody has their own like
worst critic. Right.
So what's your best one, And somebody go, oh, I just can't stand my eyes, or I can't stand my nose, or I can't stand my lips. My lips are so thin. Okay, so you don't like your lips. Let's make them disappear, and let's make your eyes the focus. So then not using black or using brown or using a lighter color, like a taupe color, really, you can still have the liner there, but it's not quite so hard. So you're not seeing the harshness on the eyes.
See, I love black eyeliner.
But the other part of the black eyeliner is your eyes are deep set. So,
mine are?
Yes.
Oh, and that's good with black eyeliner or not?
It is because when you look at your eye, all you're going to see is this beautiful black line. And
because if I don't put it on, like even with my fake lashes, like if I don't put it on, I look tired or I look something different. Like there's a different look without it than when I have it. To me, it looks better. But I understand what you're saying because I had a friend a long time ago who she was like 10 years older than me. So now she'd be in her 50s, maybe even late now approaching 60. But she had that like old kind of like 90s where she would put the black on the lower lid.
Right.
And I was like, I think that's making her look older. And she was gorgeous.
Right.
Gorgeous, right? But she just insisted on like lining that lower lash with that heavy black liner. And I'm like, you got to get rid of that.
But see, I do the same thing. I put on the black on the lower lid. And if I don't do it, every time, at least one or two people will say, you look tired today.
But see, I'm looking at you now and it's underneath. She would line the water line.
No, that's what I water.
It's what I water.
Oh, that's what you line. See, it doesn't look to me like
it may have worn off, but
it's not worn off.
And underneath.
It's a different look though. So I guess you're right in terms of it depends on the person.
It depends totally on the person. It depends on their lid. So like you, for example, you both have like, see how your lids just completely disappear?
Yeah. Mine do that is what you're saying too.
Yours do too. So you when you put liner on, it's like, oh, the eye's defined. And also makes that eye look like bigger and whiter. So it makes a huge difference. And if the lady you were talking about, if she could have still had a line underneath, but if she had done it like in
brown or
taupe or blue, it would have just you would have still seen the eye definition, but it wouldn't have been so hard.
Interesting. And see that, and I also think too, we all get stuck because I know this. I have a bit of it. Like I learned how to do a certain type of eyeshadow. I'm afraid I'm a little embarrassed to say how long ago, a long time ago, and it was from the brand. Do you know the brand Lorac?
Yes.
And she like sold it and stuff, but it was such a good makeup brand, at least in my opinion. And then they sold it and it went away.
Right.
And it was sad because I loved that makeup brand. But they were so good at teaching me. This was in Southern California when I was in college, and they taught me how to do it. They were like, do this with the eyeshadow and do this. And it was so easy and so good. I've never stopped doing it.
Right.
And I don't feel it's made me look older, but now I'm like, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, I've been doing that since I was 20 something. Maybe I need a new routine.
That's what happens with people and their mascara. You never stop using hardly the same mascara.
Right.
Like, you know how many times
as long as it's not discontinued.
Exactly. And we're like, hey, why don't you try this new mascara? And everybody, oh no, I've been using the same mascara for the last, 30 years.
But I will say this with mascara, like there's been a lot of innovations, like because the one that I switched to before I got the lash extensions was they put the actual like little extension micro or fibers on there.
Right.
And it was so much better than the old school regular mascara. Like, and it was a natural clean brand, which I liked. And it just made my eyelashes look better. This makes them look better still. But in my opinion, who knows? But it's changed. Right. So that would be a reason why somebody would want to change up their mascara, because the technology, the makeup formulas has changed where you can actually get something cleaner that is better and actually makes your eyelashes look longer.
Right.
See, and I'm, even though I'm not a natural blonde, I don't like to admit it, but without anything on my eyelashes, I look like I have none. And they're actually pretty long and thick. They're just so fair, which is crazy because I'm not fair. Like my hair's dark.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's annoying. It's annoying.
We all want her daughter's lashes.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Right?
Lizzie has the most amazing lashes without mascara.
crazy.
And she's like, well, I still put mascara on.
Oh, no. It's so crazy.
It's awesome. I'm glad for her, though.
Sometimes I was like, you need to like chill out on the mascara because it's like.
I know. It's like, are those real?
Yeah.
Like,
I can't tell you how many
gosh.
times. And I actually did put fake lashes on her one time.
Yeah. And I'm like, you do not need fake lashes.
No, she
bro.
doesn't.
But we've all seen the woman, and I'm not speaking about any specific woman, but that has those like crazy fake lashes on. You're like, girl, there's a like spider crawling on your face that needs to come off. Like, no.
Nothing beats seeing lashes in Dallas. Okay,
Oh, really?
Sorry.
Is that the place? Dallas?
That is the place
I like
for
it.
lashes.
We'll have to ask Anthea. She goes there to visit her
Yes.
son a lot.
Yes.
I bet she'll agree with you.
It is hilarious.
That's
It's like
funny.
just walk through the airport and it's like they're all like gigantic. It's like nothing's big like lashes in Texas.
I mean, everything's
my
bigger in
gosh.
Texas, so it makes sense. That's hilarious. But I'll tell you, you know where it's the best place to go shopping?
Where?
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
My sister and I were on a trip last year, and we were like, we just need to fly in here once a year. The Nordstrom's was better, had a
Right.
bigger selection. Like, it was amazing.
It is.
Dallas is where I would
I've
fly
been
to go
watch-
shopping.
Speaking of Dallas, I've been watching the America's Sweetheart Cowboy cheerleader show.
Me
Really?
too. I watched the
Amazing.
whole thing, Carolina.
Did you?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
saw it. I haven't watched it yet because
the
I
whole
hate
thing.
the Cowboys. Hate the fucking
I love
Cowboys.
the Cowboys,
so
but
I hate the fucking Cowboys. I'm a 49ers fan. Come on.
I am too.
Ugh,
But
I hate the Cowboys. America's team. That's how I feel about that. It's not true anymore.
Mhm.
Sorry, I digress. But you recommend it.
yeah, I mean, it's good.
All right.
It's good if you have nothing else to watch.
I don't know. I feel like right now there's not much. So
Right. That's why I've been watching.
Understood. It would require that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another. Do you have any questions? Because I can just keep going.
I do have a question because it's something that I struggle with all the time, and I don't know if it's me or what, but and maybe it's the color of my skin. I don't know. But I have tried every color makeup, every brand of makeup, every kind of makeup, and I feel like nothing shows up on my skin.
Because
And
you
it
have a high.
drives me crazy. Like I can't. I spend all this time in the mirror putting on makeup, and then I get a photo, and it's like I don't even look like I have makeup on.
Because you have so much oil on your skin.
Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
And the oil and the makeup are not like that.
They're not driving.
No.
Will the
So-
primer help that?
So then how
The
do
primer,
I fix
the
it?
primer will help, and rice powder will help.
Oh.
So rice powder is easy, like as far as a makeup artist using. I mean, we use, and rice powder helps.
Is that something
oily.
you buy in a makeup?
Yes, like at Ulta or Sephora,
Okay.
or
I have to
You
write
guys
this
have
down.
it?
we don't. We have it. It's not one of my favorite products that I
Okay.
like.
Uh-huh.
There's other brands out there that are like really easy to use, and
Okay.
it just comes in like and there are powders that actually can do a better job of setting to the mineral powder helps too setting.
But you put that on before you put your makeup
No,
on?
it would be the very last thing. It's like sealing,
'Cause-
and the other part is either rice powder or setting spray. One or the other are going to push, like they're going to, and if you're using talc, it's going to completely disappear with your skin. Like you buy talc foundation, it's gone.
Really?
Because it goes into the skin.
Well, it's going into the skin, and the oil and the talc is like if you put it on it's like you put it on a piece of paper. The oil is just going to like, hey, I'm going to like take over, and I'm going to get rid of all of this. So you have that kind of like thing that you have to have the
So I have to
balance.
make sure my foundation doesn't have talc.
Well, your cleanser that you're using might be
Okay.
over drying your skin, causing the oil on your skin to overproduce.
See, there's so many things.
But see, it's
Okay,
good
cleanser.
to know.
Okay.
It's good to
Because if the
know.
cleanser has emulsifiers in it, it's stripping your skin. So you think, oh, I need to like get all this oil off, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna go scrub it with the most harsh thing I can find. I mean, I'm not saying that's you,
Right.
but the tendency is,
Or
I've got oily skin. Let me like wash it, as much as I can. Let me get the scrub. Let me do
Right.
whatever I can. And I had a client like last week going, I have dermatitis, and she's got great skin. And she went and bought some scrub that she thought was going to be great for her skin, and and she doesn't need all that, and it completely
too much.
So when you start that, the brain goes, oh, you just stripped all this stuff off my skin. I'm going to
It's
send
dry.
down more. So down the oil faucet comes on, and it just pours out more oil. So that's what you have eating your makeup. So it is like
But see, it's good to know.
Yeah, definitely. You should teach
The-
a class. Do you teach a class on this?
We're glad to.
Okay.
We can.
So I'm
That would
another-
be fun.
I know it would.
Yeah,
I
you
told you
should.
too. I was like, you should do a refresh your makeup routine for women over 40 because you kind of like, at least it's just me, but you kind of need it. Like I've been doing the same, and it's evolved. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but certainly the technique, like I said, of my eyeshadow has stayed the same for a long time, and it may not be bad. I don't know.
Well, plus there's all these things that we don't really talk about a lot, like until we sit in a conversation, even like this.
Right.
I mean, it's not like you go let's go have
A makeup
a
conversation
a
over
cocktail.
cocktails.
Let's have cocktails. Oh yeah, how about my makeup? So it's not like a conversation.
I'm going to ask
we
you that
ever
now.
We're gonna
Every
start a
time I
show
see you,
called
Nancy.
Men and Makeup.
Men and makeup. Well, it could be men I know who wear makeup.
Oh, that would be
that
fun
could be a
too.
good
That would actually be highly entertaining.
Yes, it would.
Okay, so the thing I want to ask, because this is what I use, so I'm calling myself out if it's bad, which is fine. But I use mostly eyeshadows that have an iridescence to them, or like they're not matte. Because and again, it might be the individual, but every time I feel if I use matte, I feel like I look older. Whereas with the iridescent, I feel like it looks more on me, more youthful. Is that true, or is
I
it?
agree. I use the same thing.
Who's the judge?
I don't know.
Who's the judge?
Well, I want your expert opinion because I know what I think. But if you say to me that's actually making you look older and you don't realize it, then I would listen.
Okay, but the opinion is the person looking in the mirror. So
And
I
the
don't
opinion
know.
could change depending on who you ask.
I mean, I'm
Right.
sure you could do a bad makeup job of both sides and have it make you look older for
I
sure.
would say matte makes you look older.
well, here's my feeling on matte and iridescent, because back in the olden days,
Was that the 90s?
yeah. Wow, I'm
2000s?
not saying, maybe it could have been even
80s?
before that. Because when they made iridescent makeup, iridescent was this sparkling thing that made you look like you should be doing something else, walking on the streets. It was not the beautiful shimmers that we have today.
Yeah, okay.
And it wasn't the mica. And now we have shadows that are triple milled shadows,
Yeah.
which means they go through the cycle 3 and 4 times in order to be formed and pressed. So when that happens, you have a different way of a payoff. It's what it's called. You have different payoff of the makeup. And when you have that, just remember that light brings something out and dark hides. That's what I say to anybody who has a question. So matte will hide something because of the nature of matte. Light will bring it out. So if you have crepey eyes that are super crepey and it has a bunch of wrinkles.
And you want matte.
And you're right. And you want to apply iridescent to a crepey eyelid. That crepey eyelid, you don't want to bring that feature out.
Well, I guess I don't have crepey eyelids at the moment because I'm like, bring it out.
No, and so that's a kind of a myth, and it's a generalization for matte versus a sparkle. And I just think it just depends on the person.
Sure.
And it depends on the eyelid shape.
Yeah.
And it depends on whether or not you are have other things going on with your lids.
Yeah.
So, it's a whole different world. But light brings it out, dark hides.
Yeah. And I do know, because I follow a few excellent plastic surgeons on Instagram that I'm really in love with, that it's one of the things that if you ever want to just have, for a lot of women, a pretty easy, procedure done that will change the look of, your age on your face, having that, if you have droopy eyelids and you do the lift and they're really skilled.
Do you know how much that costs?
Well, the one that I like, it costs a shit ton of money. And really what I want is his whole facelift.
I had a Botox woman say, you need to get an eyelid lift. Yeah.
Wow.
That was 5 years ago.
Wow.
And it's bothered me ever since.
What was the price tag?
Well, it was
what bothers me the most is they have the audacity to say it.
Correct.
That's my problem with any of the conversations, is because we all look at ourselves in the mirror every day. We know what we look like.
100%.
We know what we would love to have corrected. We know what we're happy with as we age. We're all going to age. And it's just over 40. How can I empower women to age and do it gracefully and be look in the mirror and just go, dang, I have freaking eyelids.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about that. Instead of, oh my gosh, do you have droopy ones? Which I'm surprised because I don't see your lids drooping.
I know to me, I would never say that to you.
I can show you if you want a couple of tricks with electric current, and that can make it look like you've had an eye lift. I can show you a couple of tricks with a little tool that you can make the muscles tighter on your forehead. But girl, that's first of all, the comment's totally uncalled for.
Right, yeah, of course.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I'm not
to answer your question, it was close to $20,000.
Yeah. But seriously, the guy that I like, he's in the Pacific Northwest, so not here. But literally, I think the total, and it's not a traditional facelift. It's basically almost a scarless. You can't tell that somebody's had a facelift, and it's over $100,000. And he has a wait list. But it is amazing. But he does just eye procedures. And I'm telling you, he can take 15, 20 years off a woman just from the eye procedure. If they do have because there is a genetic part of it where you get sometimes that really droopy eyelid. And I'm not saying anybody has to have it. You should love yourself right now the way you are. Right. You're beautiful the way you are. But look, we're all vain. I am, If I win the lottery tomorrow, I'm scheduling with that doctor at some point in the Pacific Northwest.
I'm waiting for my cryptocurrency
exactly
to boom.
Blow up, baby. Come on. But we all have both our budget and our willingness to do something, And am I fine? Yes. Would I like to look better? Of course. So
but it's also our belief in what's okay,
right?
And what's it's.
Well, and the part that I have a hard time with is these doctors who where, you you just get that like stretched look
Yeah.
out where it's overdone. And the good thing is it seems like the trend now is going away from that to more natural, but that overdone
It hasn't
look.
hit South Florida yet.
I mean, South Florida, let's be real. We love it, but it's a very unique place when it comes to plastic
Too big
surgery.
of a chance to take. I don't think I could ever do that.
What?
A facelift.
Oh, it's not the kind where I don't think he peels the whole face off like the old school.
Yeah.
It's like the scars are hidden in the hairline, so it's
no, it's not about the scars.
it's just the thought.
Look. Like you can't undo that.
Oh, I know,
If
but I should
something
show
goes
you his.
wrong, you
I'll show
cannot
you
undo
this
it.
guy's results, and you'll be
And
like, "Holy
so
shit!"
many people that it's
They promise
really,
and can't deliver. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and it's scary when it goes bad.
And not only that, but I will tell you this from a surgery standpoint, because I've had a lot of surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors, when they show you whatever you see on their website and in their books, are their best
ones, yeah.
jobs.
Yeah,
And let me tell you, I myself have had botched jobs.
yeah,
And I've even selected the most expensive
right.
and the best, and that was not the case.
Yeah, I believe you. Trust me, I believe you. There's a really. Didn't I show you that TikTok of the people in Asia? Like, it's extreme, but they literally are like, go from this to like this, where it's just completely pulled back and looks so terrible. And they're like, it took 20 years off or something. I'll have to show it to you. It's insane.
I've become such a fan of
Natural.
what we can do. Well, what we can do with exosomes, what we can do with ingredients.
Exosomes are amazing.
What we can do with peptides, what you can do by just eating really great.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes time. I mean, it takes time to smooth the skin out. It takes time to do it from the internal. But it's amazing how much you can do. I mean, with a little muscle lift, it's crazy.
And I even think intentionality, because there's a woman in the Dr. Joe group I'm in that posted pictures of her before and after of what she did in the last year with intention. And literally what she did it with was meditation. Mind blowing.
Really?
I will show you it. You look at it and you're like, holy cow. She literally changed everything internally. Kind of like what we were talking about with Sam. And not that Sam had that like.
Wait, what?
Like literally
She
this
changed
woman.
her outward appearance.
Yes,
with meditation?
100%. She looks like she's
it's
65.
There's no way.
I'm going to show you. She looked like she was 60 or something, like an old 65-year-old. Now she looks like maybe late 40s.
By meditating.
100%.
Well, the other,
Absolutely.
people can cure cancer.
Yes. You'll be blown away.
You realize
like,
that?
And you'll listen to her story. She did a lot.
Has she been
of
under a
meditation.
rock somewhere? We need to get her out of that rock.
I know.
No, you guys are just different kind of people.
We are.
No.
It's all right.
No,
I'm okay with that.
I don't
like it.
believe in that stuff.
Oh,
It's
I'm going to show you.
amazing.
It's 100% true. It's intentionality. That's what we were talking about with
So
Sam
then
right
why
before.
wouldn't everybody just do that?
Because they don't believe that it can happen.
Right.
So you have to have a
So
belief.
why don't you do that?
I
for your
do.
eyelids or whatever.
Well,
Well, she hadn't thought about it actually until she saw
if
this
you
lady.
really believe in that,
I don't
and you-
think my
and you-
eyelids need it quite yet, but
If you really believe in that, and you
I
like
do.
to meditate, then why haven't you done it?
I've done a lot of it with meditation. I just haven't
what
put
has
that focus
changed?
on that. I'm a completely different person than I was 5 or 10 years ago.
Physically,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
physically,
Absolutely.
with just meditation.
Not just meditation, but 100% it started with meditation.
This is going to be an episode.
Yes.
100%
God,
it started with
absolutely not.
meditation.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Because you're just literally, what are we made of? Information and light.
And energy.
And energy, information and light. That's what we're made of. This table is not solid. This table is energy, information, and light. And
Oh
we
my
think
God.
it's solid. It's
Okay,
not
we
actually
can't-
solid.
We can't have this conversation right now.
Oh,
We cannot.
okay.
Let's go back to makeup. Oh, I'm about to jump out of my skin right now.
Okay. You don't have
So
to
no,
believe
let's,
it.
let's
It's
talk
fine.
about makeup.
What are your last questions on makeup? Because we're about to wrap it
No,
up.
I think I'm good.
Any final things we didn't ask that we should have asked on makeup?
I don't know. Just like always highlight the one thing that is your best feature. Like if you have thin lips, please don't wear red lipstick.
Oh yeah, that
know?
actually that's my last question because I was going to
Okay.
ask this because I forget who it was. It was a Coco Chanel or somebody. It was like lipstick is essential to a woman or something, right? There's some person like that said it. Lipstick has never been my favorite. And I think it's because I have thinner lips and I don't wear it as well. Like I would put a red lip on me and I'm like, that looks awful. So how do you know how to pick a good lipstick or a good lip product for yourself?
Well, you're going to, like, for my suggestion is you're going to look at the size of your lips and whether or not you want them to appear outwardly, hey, everybody to see the color, or do you want it to be like just a beautiful part of the makeup? So you have that choice. The same with, if you put on bronzer and blush, it's the same thing. Do you want it to be lifting your face up and being able to pull it up? And so it becomes this beautiful focal point. And then the lips are a sheerer color. They still could have gloss. They could still be a very light pink or a light coral, but it's not sitting there in your face. So it becomes, and then the eyes become the focus, and you just make drama eyes. That's why, like, I'm like, pick that best focus on you
And highlight that.
and highlight that, but highlight that crap out of that. You just make it so it's like, wow, look at her eyes. And you have the choice to be able to apply makeup so that it can raise your face up or actually change your face shape.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have a classic face shape where you have this very strong jaw but it's a gift. Like, I mean, so it's like totally a gift because you'll never have, and you always have that strong jaw, but it's a beautiful thing. And everything is divided into thirds on the face. So the perfect face has like from here to here, here to here, like
And
all
then the
different
forehead,
in the forehead. So, but everything is divided into thirds, and the same with the half of it. So when you take somebody's face and you look at the face shape, like, and yours is a very long face. So do you want something that is going to be blush down here? No, you want to keep your blush up here and higher.
Right.
So it actually looks like your face is like actually not as long. So you want to actually make it so it looks like it's like
Wider.
right here. So your blush is going to be up here, and your eyes are going to be your focus because your eyes are like freaking fabulous, and your lips are going to be a lighter color. So it's kind of like taking that best features of you and your face shape and using makeup to make it look wow.
So what you just said about her, I do as well. So for my face shape, is that proper?
But
like,
your blush
I
and your
put it up
blush
here.
can actually come down a
Really?
little bit lower.
Because I've always applied it right here and up.
But
I
you
would
could
say
actually
maybe
come
more
down.
here.
You could come down lower
Interesting. I don't
because
know about
your
that.
face. Well, you're going to do two colors. This is going to be darker here.
Oh, I
like
do put bronzer
contouring.
there.
So you're going to do your contour
and
and then the lighter color and then the shimmer right here on the highlight
that's pretty
on
much
top.
what I do.
So the highlight's going to be on the top. And you want that one to lift it. But your face shape is already considered the heart shape. So you already have that shape.
Yeah.
And so, like if you're looking and being super critical, you can be, but you don't really want to.
No, I'm not looking at it as super critical. It is what it is. I mean, it's not like you can change the shape of your face.
You can with makeup.
Okay,
That's what I
it's
do.
illusion. But I'm just saying, like, I'm starting with the palette, the canvas.
Right.
And then you work with what you got. Like somebody else has a longer face, somebody else has a square face. Like you're starting from where you're starting. That's what I mean. It is what it is. And then you can change it. I mean, we've all seen the reels and social media where they completely look like a different person from makeup. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
And crazy.
So I actually do have one last question. So, and this is a good example because we're very different as far as skin tones. And this might be a matter of opinion, but with colors, what, in your opinion, or if it's a fact, what colors are better?
You can wear any color as long as it matches the undertone of your skin. So you either have a green vein or you have yellow in your skin and you're considered warm, or you're cool and you have a blue vein. And
how do you figure that out?
You're warm.
You're warm.
I was like, you're warm.
Like I said,
You're cool.
it's
Like
right?
you're
and I'm
warm
kind
to
of-
the touch, you mean?
No.
your vein and the colors that you can wear You can wear any color as long as it has a yellow undertone to it, because that's a warm undertone. So you can wear a coral, but you can only wear one with a yellow undertone. If I wear one with a yellow undertone, it makes me look like I'm dead.
Yeah.
So,
Because you have, to me, it's pink, but you're saying it's more blue.
right. So what ends up happening is you put a shirt on. It's a beautiful color, and you go, "Oh my gosh, I love that color. It's fabulous." You put it on somebody else, and they go, "Oh my God, it looks terrible."
Right.
It's the instantaneous of this color has the wrong undertone. And it's the same with makeup. You can wear any color coral, any color red, as long as that red is the one. You can wear a red, but it has to have a yellow undertone for your skin.
And because even makeup, when you're buying it, they'll say, are you more yellow undertone or pink undertone, like warm or cool? I'm actually pretty neutral. Like, because if I put cool on, it looks weird. And if you put too yellow on, you're like, it's too yellow. So I have to really kind of try to find that one that's like neutral.
In the middle.
Wait, but tell me again how to figure that out.
So on our veins,
Yeah.
we can look at our veins. If your vein is green,
It's not. I think it's blue.
well, it's green.
It's green.
Okay.
If you get in the light here, it's green. And if you look at if you look at your vein,
Oh yeah, it's green.
it's green. So that means
Warm.
you're warm and you have a yellow undertone.
Okay.
So everything that you're going to buy, every color that you buy, you are going to buy it with a yellow
Does
undertone.
it say that?
No, it doesn't.
So makeup does. They'll say warm or
Sometimes.
cool. Yeah,
Oh,
sometimes.
so
Yeah.
you go with the warm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But
And-
not all of it.
Right.
And
Not all of
blush
it'll
blush
say.
doesn't. That's the
Yeah.
challenge.
Okay.
Blush doesn't. So you kind of have to look and be like, you'll start to figure it out though. Like when you look at colors in the store,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can be like, this is a more cool color because it's like there's a pink that has more blue in it versus a pink that has more yellow in it.
Okay.
And if you try it on your hand and you go, "Oh, that looks terrible," you know it's got a blue undertone, and you're like, "Oh, that's not for me."
Wow.
Because what it does is it's supposed to enhance you and make you look
So
better
interesting.
and not make you look worse.
Yeah.
So, and you put something that's the wrong color on you. I saw a woman that was done for her. She was the mother of the bride. And the makeup artist had done the completely wrong colors on the mother.
That's too bad.
And it was like, oh my gosh. And she looked like
Oh my
she
gosh.
looked so much older than she really was
Should've.
because the colors were the wrong colors.
Right.
So it makes a huge difference.
Wow.
It's like, do you remember when we were kids that it was a thing to like have your seasons done of your colors? There's winter, spring, summer, and fall, and it's like what colors you can wear best.
I never heard that until
It's made a revival.
You know what's funny is I never heard that until one day I was working at the Boca Chamber, and I was at the Delray Chamber, and somebody walked in, and Lynn was in the lobby, and she looks at her, and she's like, "You're red, right?" Or whatever color,
like spring
and they
or
knew
winter.
exactly what you
Winter.
you're winter.
Yeah.
That's what she's. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
what
can
are you
tell. When
talking
you know
about?
it, you can start to tell.
And it was based on the lady
your
was wearing
summer?
red or something.
Yeah, she's a summer.
She was wearing red, I think. And I was like, what just happened? Like
Yeah.
the exchange was
It
very
used to be
bizarre.
a really big
thing in the 80s.
In the 80s.
But it's
And it
made a
was like-
revival on social.
because it was like, and you had scarves that you went to the party.
Yeah, no,
and at the
I did not
party,
go
they
through
would
that.
wrap the scarf around you to see which color you should wear. And then they would try to sell you makeup and they would try to
Right,
sell you
you know.
everything else. And it was like,
But there's a like validity to it in that certain colors look
No, I
better
get
on
that,
you. That's all it
100%.
was trying to do. But
Yeah.
But it was very 80s. I had mine done. You actually got a little
That's so
palette with
funny.
your colors that were good for you, like little fabric swatches that they'd give you. So
it was,
and I was
Wow.
mad because black was not in mine, but brown
Right.
was, and I'm like, I'm still wearing black
I know.
because
right?
that was my color.
It's my favorite one.
I know.
Right?
Yes. Well, this was fun. I'm sure we could talk more about makeup
Yes.
yet again. I mean, we could always talk about everything with you. It's fun.
Next
Thank
time
you.
we're going to talk about makeup sex.
Makeup
Oh.
sex.
Makeup sex.
with a
I-
man who
that's
wears
funny.
makeup.
There you go.
There you have it.
Men and makeup.
What an interesting
Men and
show that
makeup.
would be.
Mhm.
On a side note, I went to Hampton Social and the server had makeup on.
Really?
As a man, yes.
There's-
Wait,
Wow.
you go to Ulta or Sephora and it's pretty much a given now.
Yeah, I was like but I had never
There's
had a
men there?
server that had like
yeah.
Oh, there's a couple. It's even
ton.
better at a Thai restaurant. I just like adore it. Like they have
Wow.
their little pink lipstick.
I so have not seen any of
Oh,
this.
yes, I have a favorite restaurant that I love, and the server is like, he's so fabulous.
I have a
Oh
show
my
for you to
gosh.
watch
Mhm.
that I think you'll like.
It's not the Queer Eye for
No,
okay.
it's not like a real story, but it's based on one, and it's with Kim Cattrall, who played Samantha on Sex and the City. It's so good. I actually really loved it, but I like stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you. I can't remember the name, but it was amazing. And the actor who plays the guy who is gay and likes to wear makeup and dress more effeminate in the show actually is that way in real life.
Wasn't it like glamour?
It's something
Oh,
like that.
that
It was
sounds
It was
familiar.
really good. It was a great show.
It really was a good
It
show.
was a show or a movie?
No, it's a show. I have to
I
find
think
it.
I already saw it.
on
She was like
Netflix.
the boss.
Kim Cattrall was the boss
Yes,
of
I
like the
saw
makeup
it.
brand. Yeah,
I saw
okay.
it.
Wasn't it good?
Yeah, it was
I
great.
know it was good.
It was really good.
Anyway, all right. Well, we get sidetracked so easily. Thank you so much,
Thank
Nancy.
you.
We'll see you
Thanks for having
again
me.
soon. And be sure to
Stay tuned.